Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Board members, now is when we'll have to use our microphones so Mr. Kelly can hear the testimonies, and as you gentlemen speak, come up and hit the microphone. Today being August 7th, 2025, we are hearing case number MI 2025-004-689 for 2716 South Street. Gentlemen, could you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, so help you God? And as you come up, if you could state your full name for the court reporter when you come up to testify, that would be great. Board members, prior to today, has anyone discussed any information in whole or in part with the appellate or anybody directly or indirectly connected with this case? Dave Hoffmeister,
No.
Brian Gilbert,
Past the last meeting.
Mike Ingram.
No.
Let the records indicate the chair had no communication outside of staff. All right, gentlemen, we would like to explain to you a little bit about the way we're going to do our proceedings today. We are going to afford you gentlemen all the time required to explain the nature of your appeal, the reason for your appeal, any relevant information. You will have all the time that you need. And when you have completed your presentation to us, we will proceed for the board to ask you questions one at a time. When that has been completed, we will even give you more time for final statements or any final information that you would want to provide that may have surfaced during the other questions. When that has all been completed, we're going to go off record. We're going to go into a deliberation room. We're going to deliberate, and then we will go back on record and proceed to vote in your presence. Understanding that at the end of this process, whether the outcome is positive or negative, our suggestions go to the commissioner for final approval. Depending upon the outcome of today's proceedings, we'll explain that to you a little bit at the end. You know, that'll take a little bit of time to go to the commissioner, get signed, and get back to staff. So with that, gentlemen, all three of you, we have two up here. Everybody can feel free to come up at one time, and then we'll. That's perfect. Thanks, Deb. Gentlemen, one at a time, could you please turn the mic on and state your name for the court reporter, please?
Brent Hangy. Jake Doyle.
You just have to press it once and then it's on.
Brian Calisi.
Thank you, Brian. Gentlemen, with that, please proceed.
So we're looking at an issue that we have on the job site where there's steel and ductwork and other utilities that are blocking some of the trap tail pieces from being within the code of 24 inches. We've had our sketching department working on this since the job started. And right now we have the list that I sent out that I provided to the board.
And thank you for that. That was fantastic. It gave the board a lot of information.
Yeah, so most of these tail pieces are serving, whether it's cold condensate, air handler condensate, tempered condensate. A lot of them are residual water or equipment. So in our opinion, that there's not much of an issue with the velocity of the water, but that's why we're appealing to the board. This was something that was brought up by the engineers, and we were directed to proceed and look into a variance for it.
If I could add too, all the traps have trap primers. And we did try to go different ways. We obviously wanted to stay within it, so we didn't just go one for all. But there was a lot of steel. I think what could have happened in hindsight is maybe take one case by one case, see if they can put holes in the steel or what have you, which we've been able to do on other jobs, but that wasn't the case on this one. There's also venting, which is I guess an international.
Yes, the building is international code and there's a vent on, I would say 90% of the drains in the job have their own half-size vent. The remainder are either circuit vented or they have relief vents.
So for the board's edification, this project was designed and being built not under P 919. It's being facilitated on the base code theories.
Yeah, and all three of us here have been put on the job after the permit review. So we had to do some research into that because we were puzzled, to say the least, as to why it wasn't the P 919 code. But then we looked back and we saw it was separate sewer. So that's why they were allowed to do the international code. Originally, it was supposed to tie into the existing Roberts Center next door. So it's
So also, as our sketching department did look at this and try to make a few alterations or adjustments on the few that they could, it would have added probably 2, 3, sometimes 5 more fittings, which was a concern to us too, as far as clogs really, just opportunity for a clog.
Anything else, guys? All right, well, thank you. And then with that, what we'll do now is we'll proceed to ask any questions that we may have. I'll call on the board members one at a time. I'll begin with myself. So thanks for providing some of the photographs too. The photographs, again, tell a tale. I guess my question is, you mentioned that all of the drains are primed. So judging from the photograph, it looks like that some are tapped right above the trap weir, which obviously you're going to have some sort of mechanical trap primers to it. Are they all going to have mechanical trap primers, or is there going to be some trap guards as well?
So that's a discussion that we're trying to have with the engineer. Obviously, the owner's concern is sewer gas, trap siphoning out. And that's something that we've worked with them in the past. They do allow them. So we're kind of having those discussions with the engineer to have the trap seals or trap guards, as you would say.
And I know this is a question that you didn't provide the information to, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, and I don't really know how relevant it is. But do you have a sense on the ones that exceed 24 inches? Do you have a sense on how many of them will potentially be trap guards or pro-sets or mechanical primers?
So the engineer, we had this discussion with the engineers for the past 4 months, and they were supposed to, on a case-by-case basis, see what the risk of each trap siphoning itself out was. And
At all them traps, they want to do it on a case-by-case basis.
Right,
exactly,
but each one of them does have a.
They have-
a trap guard, or
they have trap
Trap primer.
primers,
every one of them do.
but the trap seal is a different story. That's something that's being reviewed by them.
So I carefully reviewed the information, and again, I thank you for that, because that made our job up here a lot easier, having this information. And the board is grateful for you guys to provide that. So I only have a question. There's actually not that many that I've been able to identify as I would think to be a problem with. In my eyes, anything over 48 inches, could potentially pose a problem with siphonage, or depending upon what's going down that drain, depending upon the volume, obviously that drain can turn siphonic and nothing drink. I have a question on level 14. DWP 0103 on your sheet. There's and basically most of my questions are germane to the 14th floor. You have a couple that are draining RPZs. You have a couple that are draining
Sorry.
cold
Sorry,
or
could you say that page
condensate.
again? I apologize.
F or DWP 0103, FCU. So that's kind of irrelevant, Brian. So let's just talk about what they're draining. All the other ones are either emergency floor drains or very low flow. But the one I particularly want to talk about is the RPZ drain, the one draining the RPZs, which is a 52-inch riser on the 14th floor. Sorry about
Yes,
that.
that's tag number 27.
Yes. So them RPZs, what, do you have a sense of what size them RPZs are there that are relieving into that, potentially relieving into that?
That one would be a 3-inch, if I'm correct, Brent.
Open up drawing.
Would it be helpful if I share a screen so that everyone can look at the page?
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt.
Would it be helpful if I share a screen so that everyone can be on the same page?
We all have that. We have good, thank you. Thank you very much.
It says 4.
I think they have the same sheet in front of them. They developed it, so.
Yeah.
Yes, those two are 3-inch.
So those are gonna
Well,
be, is
There's two of them, one's a bypass. It's just a bypass that has its own RPZ on it.
so that's a 3-inch device.
3-inch device should be a 2-inch air gap off of that. 1.5 inches, maybe.
So what I would urge you to do, not that I think it has anything to do with these proceedings today. You're draining that RPZ into a 3-inch RPZ into a 4-inch line. So this board has taken up the issue of proper drainage sizes for RPZs and air gaps in the past quite extensively. And we've done quite extensive research on the GPM capacity versus the pressures and everything else. And there could potentially be a question on that one. So if you guys would make a note, again, not that it's germane to these proceedings, but if you just check with the engineer and make sure that that engineer is comfortable that if there's a catastrophic release of that device, whether or not that 4-inch drain will handle it.
Okay, thank you.
And let's keep into perspective, that's a 52-inch riser too. So the potential for that going siphonic in a catastrophic release is, quite prevalent. The other one I have a question on is the cold water condensates, also on level 14. It's going into a 4-inch riser, and that has a 56-inch riser. Them cold water condensates that you're indicating that they're relieving, is there any concern to a greater GPM level in your professional opinion?
And we're talking about 24, tag 24, just to verify.
Yep.
Yeah, that particular drain, I don't see a concern with. It's
Okay.
either gonna be a 3/4 or 1-inch line going down. It's just atmospheric condensate. There's no
So there
pressure to
again,
it.
if we consider the, the potential GPMs that's going to relieve a 3/4 and a 1-inch line, we can determine by GPM that's perfectly fine. So they're the only ones that I've had a particular question on. We're gonna proceed with questions from the rest of the board. Mike Ingram,
No questions.
Brian Gilbert,
Yes, so you guys sent over a packet with the pictures. I'm looking here at the second page in, I'm assuming they're all the same. Level 7, it's got the green epoxy pipe with the 4 traps. It looks on the far left, you have additional support on the trap. I can't see the two where we're facing the primer side. Are they supported? Additional support?
Yes, all the traps should have an additional support on them.
Okay, every one of these seems to have an additional piece of pipe with 2 Husky couplings on. I'm assuming, I could be wrong, you guys set the drains with piping in it before the pour, and the pipe wasn't long enough?
No, what we did on, if it's a floor sink, yes, they were previously set. If it is a stainless steel body, we did set it with short pieces on, but CHOP does not want a band in the floor. So we made it with a hub underneath, should have a bell underneath. So they could possibly chop, they don't want to have to go into the
Mechanical?
ceiling.
It's just a mechanical room floor.
Yeah.
Is that what that is? You have the riser clamp directly underneath the bell?
Yes,
Is-
correct.
What's the joint on those drains, or does it vary? Are they inside caulk? Are they no?
On the stainless steel ones, they are a no hub. On any other floor drain, which is a Smith body, they are inside caulk.
And the floor sinks are
The
inside?
floor sinks, I don't think they offered the style that they wanted inside caulk. It's a stainless steel body, like 10 by 10 body, square.
Oh, yeah, if it's stainless, they're probably.
It was a stainless steel, yeah.
Okay, totally get that. And we've established you guys are using the international code, which I'm looking at some of these pictures, it would have been damn near impossible to add the vent and the 2 additional fittings and still make your set, you're within a foot or 2 of the steel, and I can see you're touching the steel here. I have no further questions.
Thank you. And thanks for clarifying that too. I think most of us sitting here were wondering why the additional pieces. I didn't know if it was prefab, and if you think some prefab, and I'm all sitting there wondering that.
Yeah, what we did on the stainless steel drains, it's a service joint underneath with a gasket, so they can pull the drain without being on 2 floors. And then the drains we did inside caulk.
Absolutely makes sense. Michelle Brisbane,
No questions.
Shane,
No questions.
thank you. And Mr. Hoffmeister.
One question here. The type of trap primers you guys are installing, what are they?
There's various. If there's a lot of drains, they're mechanical, they're boxes on the wall that it's mechanically done. Then the bathroom drains are like a little bullet, so it's just a pressure drop off of a flushometer.
So it's a pressure activated primer?
On the bathroom ones, on the mechanical room ones, it's a box, so it's electronic.
Electronic?
Yes.
No further questions.
Thank you. Gentlemen, with that, is there anything else that you would like to add before we go back and talk about this a little bit? Well, we thank you for your presentation and for the level of detail that you provided to us. It was certainly appreciated, and yeah, I mean, we can see by the photographs, and thanks for the photographs as well, that it would be very difficult, to try do any modifications to try and remain within that 24-inch requirement. So, with that, we're now going to go into deliberations. Mr. Kelly, could you show us off record, please?
Yes, Chair, and if I could ask, please, before the gentlemen leave the dais, could I get the spelling of their first and last names?
Brent Hangy, it's Brent, Hangy, Hangey.
Jake Doyle, Jakedoyle.
Brian Kalisi, Brian. Last name is Kalesse.
Thank you.
You got it, and let the record show, please show us off record. Thank you. Mr. Kelly, can you show us back on record, please?
Yes, Chair.
Today being August 7th, 2025, we continue to hear case number MI 2025004-689 for 2716 South Street. Board, what say you?
I motion to approve the appeal and grant the variance as requested.
Second.
Motion on the floor and seconded. Any additional questions or comments on the motion? We will proceed to vote one at a time. Mike Ingram. David Hoffmeister,
Approve.
Brian Gilbert. The record, let the record show the chair votes aye by unanimous decision. We are going to suggest approval for your request. As I mentioned earlier, all of our information now goes to the commissioner. He does a final review and approval. That normally takes, Deb, what, a week or so?
Weeks to 10 days, depending on if the commissioners in or not, so.
So what we're going to suggest, gentlemen, that in 10 working days, 2 weeks, if you don't hear anything from Deb or Phil, please reach out for one of them. Any additional questions or comments on your end? All right.
I just thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
thanks for your time.
Appreciate you guys reviewing this for us.
Thank you very much. And that concludes the testimonies and for case number MI 2025-004689. Gentlemen, thank you. Thanks for coming to visit us. Appreciate it. Mr. Kelly, please show us off record.
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly, could you show us on record, please?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the Plumbing Advisory Board.
Morning.
I would like to explain a little bit of how we're going to conduct the proceedings this morning. When we call the case, we will afford you and your team all of the time necessary for you to explain the reason, the nature of your appeal. We will afford you all the time that you need to do that. And then once you have completed that, one at a time, the board members will ask you questions if they have any. When that is complete, we will again afford any more time if you would like to provide any closing statements or additional information. And then when that is done, we will go off record. We will put you in a waiting room and we will proceed to deliberate. When that is completed, we'll come back on record and proceed to vote. Do you understand the way we're going to do things?
Yes. clear.
Awesome. Awesome. Would you please state your name and the proper spelling for the court reporter, please?
Yeah, I can go first. My name is Neil Kane, Neilcain, with Federal Realty.
And I am Howard Liebold with McGillen Architecture, HOWARD LEBOLD. We are the architects for the project. I believe we have a couple other representatives with us as well from representing our client, KinderCare.
Okay, we will.
Jeff Stevens, JEF.
Anybody else?
SCEPHEN.
Okay. Everyone who will be testifying, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the information you are about to provide is true and accurate? So help you God?
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you very much. Right. Board members. Prior to today, has any board member discussed any information in whole or in part with the appellate or anybody directly or indirectly connected to this case? Mike Ingram? Dave Hoffmeister?
No.
Brian Gilbert? No. And please let the record show that outside of staff, the chair has had no communications. Today being August 7th, 2025, we will be hearing case number MI 2025-004-718 for 701 Cathedral Road. Again, welcome. My name is Walt Krasinski. I'm the chairman of the Plumbing Advisory Board. And with that, please proceed with your presentation.
Thank you. To provide you with some background on the proposed project here, I have shared with you a proposed floor plan. What we are looking at is a proposed 9,500 square foot daycare center, which would be in Federal Realty's Andorra Shopping Center. They will hopefully take care of about 100 kids in this facility, from toddlers up through age 5 in this facility. This would be an institutional I-4 use by IBC definition, certainly allowed as a use within mercantile uses. One of the requirements within that I-4 designation would be that there should be one shower facility within any of these daycare centers. Unfortunately, from a safety standpoint, for both the children under their care as well as their staff, KinderCare policies do not permit any of their employees to utilize a shower in any of their facilities, nor do they want a private room like that where they might potentially take one of the children under their care. For that reason, we are before this board to request variance relief to eliminate that shower from the proposed fit out. We certainly meet all the other requirements from a plumbing standpoint. We'd certainly be concerned that if we were required to put in this shower, that it would present certain challenges because it would become a plumbing fixture that was not utilized. We have the situation where the trap associated with that shower would likely dry out and could be permitting sewer gases back into their facility. I think that really is the meat of the matter before the board, and we'd be happy to take any particular questions. We did have a representative from KinderCare who was able to speak to all of their policies, and unfortunately she had to jump off.
She was able.
Howard, I'm
Howard,
on.
she was able to.
Oh, she's
reconnect.
Yeah.
rejoined.
Yeah, I'm back on.
Okay, good. Sorry. If you have questions about that, Kim is here to speak to any of those specific policies as they relate to their operations.
Could she please state her name and spelling of her name for the court reporter, please?
RLY Grant, GRANT.
Thank you.
Chair, this is the reporter. Could she be sworn in?
Oh, thank you. I was just reminded of that. Kim, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, please proceed, everyone.
So I don't, Kim, unless you have anything you'd like to add to what I stated before, I believe we are provided all the information that we think is necessary for the board to hopefully ask any questions and then render a decision on this matter.
Yeah, only thing that I would just add, if it's relevant, is that we don't bathe or shower or use any of that facility for any of the children or staff. Sorry, I'm in a school right now. And so it really would just be something because it's being required. It would not be anything that we would really use.
Okay, well, thank you for your presentation. The board will proceed to ask questions if they have any. starting with myself. You testified that this facility will be servicing children up through age 5, no children above the age of 5?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, obviously, KinderCare has, we're all familiar with many locations. Are you aware of any other locations that in fact do have a tub or shower facility?
There are some locations that do have shower facilities, but they are not utilized based on the policy that we just referred to earlier.
Okay, very good, fair enough. I appreciate that. I have no further questions. Mike Ingram,
No questions.
Brian Gilbert.
Yes, I have a couple questions. So your company policy does not allow for the utilization of showers. So if a child has an accident, they're just given extra clothes? I mean, is that the policy?
Yeah, that's correct. We don't, like if a child has like an accident, the teachers clean them up using like wipes, and they have extra clothes that the families provide. And then if need be, we will reach out to the family to either come support or pick up or bring extra things. But yeah, we don't do any type of bathing or anything like that.
Okay, earlier, one of you testified, I unfortunately don't remember who, that you said it was a safety concern having just a shower in your facility in case, I don't even, something could happen. I'm looking at your plan view. You appear to have a lot of single-user bathrooms. Do you have the same safety concern for the single-user bathrooms with the lockable door?
What we do, but all of those bathrooms that are within any of the classrooms are actually half-height walls. So they provide any of the children with privacy by doing that. But then there is the opportunity for the teacher to observe what might be happening within that room. So if one of the workers within the KinderCare facility is assisting a child in that area, there's also secondary observation of that toilet room, so that again, the same issues from a safety standpoint are being addressed along those lines, where we're trying to provide privacy in that situation, but also make sure that we're protecting the interests of both the children under KinderCare's care, as well as the safety of the staff that's working there along those lines. So we think that approach accomplishes both of those things.
Okay, now, you guys obviously operate quite a few facilities, am I correct?
Kim or Jeff, do you have that
Yes.
number?
Yeah, it's like roughly around 1,500 nationwide.
Okay, does your facility ever change hands? Do you ever leave an area, sell the building, maybe to another, has it ever happened to another child care provider?
I mean, there are times that, yes, I will say that, I mean, to simple part, yes, but that is rare. The only time that really ever occurs is if we're in a market that no longer is viable, but that, again, is a rarity.
So it's not guarantees that you will be the owner and occupier of this facility forever, for the duration of the building?
True. Yeah.
Okay, that is all the questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Michelle Brisbane? Shane McNulty? Will defer. David Hoffmeister?
No questions.
All right, you're on a hot seat, Gene. Yeah. Hold the mic down in front of you, please.
Oh, sorry. Would you, I'm just asking for before going into deliberation, would you be opposed to plumbing and capping one of the locations for potential use of a shower in the future?
Neil, could you comment on that?
I have no reservations in doing that. If the intent is to put it in there for future owners, should this establishment transfer hands in the future and then be accessed for plumbing, I have no problem with that.
I was just curious.
Excuse me, this is the reporter. Could I ask who asked that question?
Shane McNulty asked a question.
Thank you.
All right. With that, do you folks have any other additional information you'd like to provide or? Okay, hearing
I
none.
don't.
Hearing none. I apologize. We have a slight delay on the Zoom. I'm sorry for that. All right, so hearing none, what we're going to do at this point, we're going to put you in a waiting room and we will bring you back in once we've had a chance to talk about this. Mr. Kelly,
thank you.
Mr. Kelly, could you please show us off record?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly, can you show us back on record, please?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. The day being August 7th, 2025, we continue to hear case number MI 2025-004-718 for 701 Cathedral Road. Board, what say you?
Motion to approve as requested.
Motion on the floor and seconded. Are there any other questions or comments on the motion? Hearing none, we will proceed to vote. Mike Ingram?
Yes.
David Hoffmeister?
Approve.
Brian Gilbert? Approve. Let the record show that the chair votes in the affirmative. Ladies and gentlemen, your request has been granted. The way it's handled from this point, our suggestion goes to the Commissioner of License and Inspection for his final approval and signature. That normally takes 1 to 2 weeks, working weeks. So if you do not hear anything from Board's administration within 10 working days, kindly reach out for Board's administration. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you very
No,
much.
No.
Thank you for your time.
No
Thank you
problem.
all.
Thank you for coming to visit us. That concludes case number MI 2025-004-718. Mr. Kelly, could you please show us off record and thank you, and you are excused.